Yes, Todd said he'll be here by 7.
Right. Harmon, we have a
Yes.
homeowner with a cell phone number, with a phone number. Can you?
Oh, I see that.
Person is homeowner.
Thank you. If your phone number ends in 2543, could you please unmute yourself and identify yourself?
I've asked them to unmute.
Okay.
This is Leslie Stewart.
Thank you, Leslie. Thank you very much. Naomi, your display of the PDF
Oh,
not on a
let's see.
page-per-page basis.
Thank you.
You can do it under view if you were wherever you did it before.
There we go.
There you go. Okay, board, there's your minutes. If you'd like to review those, we'll entertain a motion to approve if there's, of course, if there's no edit.
I motion to approve.
Okay, do we have a second?
I second.
Any board discussion? Any homeowner discussion on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, any opposed? Hearing none, it was unanimous. Thank you very much, board. I'll go back to the agenda. We have the financial report. If you can go to the financial report page, I'll go through this on a summary basis. So this is as of July 31st. This page is our balance sheet that shows the balances of our accounts. So we have a checking account, that's the main checking account. We have 130,751 in that account. The separate section, we have the gate area, that's Parkcrest, has 14,803. In our reserve, we have a money market of the gate area of 25,882. We have a CD of 53,494, and in our Metro money market account, 794,823. No surprises there. Our receivables, that's the receivables of assessments at 23,342, as you can see. And then we have some late fees and legal fees, reserve fund, and some fines and other, that total 16,336. Accounts payables, exactly what it sounds. It's accounts that we owe money to that the checks have not yet been cut, but the bills have been received. Prepaid assessments are, as they sound, assessments that have been prepaid that have not been utilized or used going forward by homeowners. So that's your balance sheet. No real issues or nothing to point out here. Changes since last time. Although, you know, the change is that your money market and reserve accounts, of course, grow every month. Next page, please. So this is our P&L statement. I got it. It's small for me too. I highlight the areas in yellow highlighted are the variances, positive and negative, for budget, and I'd like to summarize on those, and then we can ask if there's any questions. So on income, we do budget for a reserve fund. Every time a house is sold, there's a contribution to the reserve fund. And even in a hot market like this, we're actually a little under from what we budgeted for income from that reserve fund. So we year-to-date budget for the first 7 months of the year of 25,000, almost 500, and we're at about 20,000. So we're a little bit under in that. That's a very difficult number to budget for, but it does give us a goal or a placeholder for where those funds will go. That said, we still are right on for income at the bottom line. So 396,000, and we're at 396,000. So we're essentially $500 or 0.14% under budget in income. In the common area, we're a little under budget in that area, mostly from playground expense, but we do have some playground expenses coming up. In the community area, we're significantly over budget, and you can see that over budget is all and more in legal fees. Gate repair, we're under budget in the gate repair, which is good. So that's a break fix. If the gate's repairing, we repair it, and we do some periodic maintenance out of that. In insurance, we came on very close to the insurance. Insurance did go up a little this year since it was budgeted for last year. And landscaping, we're significantly under budget, well, 10%, but that's a kind of a timing issue because you can see the tree pruning has not yet hit, and we have some money in landscape. Other, next page, please. This is operations. So we're a little over in operations, and you can see that's in clerical and in the postage. Operations has an offset in income. So there was a income line of other that goes to clerical when items are ordered or closes are happen, or we have to do something for mortgage companies that has income to it. So that's where the clerical hits. Miscellaneous, it's exactly that. It's miscellaneous. So we're a little over budget miscellaneous, but that one is a placeholder or an area that we can budget for and go into. The other expense, so we have two miscellaneouses. One miscellaneous, we haven't used any of that budget. In repairs and maintenance, we're significantly under budget, and we really haven't had repairs in that large repair category right there, and we haven't had any electrical repair yet. We do have some significant fence repairs coming up. Most of those are going to be in the reserve category. The reserve contribution is exactly where it should be, and it's budgeted. So we are putting $12,120 a month from operations into money market. So we've put away $84,840 into the money market year to date. Property taxes, income tax, we've paid our income tax so far, and property tax is not hit yet. So we're certainly under budget in that area. And then utilities, we're under budget utilities, under budget electric a little bit. So that's a good thing. So overall, our expenses are 11,400 under budget year to date, with our income being right even. We're good to budget by $10,906 year to date. So far we're doing well. A little timing here and there, as I mentioned, a little up and down in some categories, but still we are doing overall summary well to budget. Board, do you have any questions about your financial statement or financial report? Any questions, board?
No.
Okay, any homeowners would like to ask a question about the financials?
Yeah, I would. This is Nathan. Oh, you
Sure.
glossed over the legal fees. Can you provide more detail? That's pretty alarming in my opinion.
Sure. We had a lawsuit with a homeowner that has been settled, and those were the legal fees for that lawsuit.
So does that mean we lost?
No, that lawsuit has been settled. Last week, it was settled. The matter is over, and we're going forward.
Okay. I'm guessing that's the fence repairs that we have budgeted?
Yeah,
Or I guess we don't have budgeted.
Well, the wall on Quinn, there was a legal issue with the homeowner and the HOA, and that was settled last week between the homeowner and the HOA.
And you're expecting repairs that we're going to pay for. So
We have repair, that's on the agenda coming up. We'll talk about the wall on Quinn.
okay, so officially you may not have lost, but it sounds like we lost.
We settled. We are not allowed to say anything about it other than we settled.
Fair enough. How much are the wall repairs?
The wall, well, we have it on the agenda. I'll discuss wall repairs at that time. How's that?
Sounds good.
I'll go over the cost of the wall. No problem. Any other questions by homeowners on the financial report? The board would entertain a motion to approve the financials.
Make a motion, we approve it.
I second.
Any further discussion on the board? Any homeowner discussion on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, passes unanimously. Thank you. All right, well, the good transition to the Quinn Wall update. So as you, most people know, there was a legal issue between the homeowner and the HOA. That was settled last week and we are going forward. The wall will start to be built on Wednesday, September 1st. And you had, we had the homeowner, you mentioned what the cost was going to be. It is a party wall with the HOA. So the HOA has contracted Titan to repair it, and each of the homeowners are contributing their share for their half of the wall or their share of the wall, and the HOA is paying for the HOA share of the wall. And the total wall repair, if I believe, if I remember on top of the head, was $26,000 for the wall repair.
Okay, maybe this is obvious, but we spent $20,000 on legal fees for something that cost $26,000 to repair.
Sir, I'm not able to talk about it.
Fair enough, but that is the dumbest thing I've ever heard of, but go ahead.
Okay. Board, any discussion on the Quinn wall repair update? There's no vote here. Just wanted to let you know that we're starting, the contractor is starting next Wednesday.
Sounds great.
Sounds great. It'll be nice to see that wall put back up.
Very good. Okay, landscape planning update. Ron, you wanted to discuss this?
Yeah.
And Art?
Art, you want to go or you want me to go?
You start. I'll fill in what you forgot.
As you all know, we have been saving money. 7 years ago, as this community was taken, we've been saving money enough for the landscaping. We have a lot of issues with landscapers in the past and the management that we've replaced and look forward on getting the work done. Art and I, when did we meet? 2 weeks ago, met with the landscaper and discussed our situation with the water and sprinkler situation and the meters. After a great meeting with Harmon, the landscaper, Art and I, we have some issues with our meters that are 22 years old. They don't give you any signals, and golf course is not.
Sorry, Ron, let me, just for the sake of clarity, when you mean meters, you actually mean the irrigation controllers.
Irrigation controllers.
Okay.
That we need to, what do you call, make it smaller. The golf course is not giving us enough time to water everything. And one of the things that you're seeing that a lot of the plants and trees that we planted are dying is because of that, especially when it goes to south of Knox. We have major pressure control. So we are working on that. As you know, the best time to plant is end of September till about early November, and then from mid-February until May. So we are gathering a lot of bids for plants, for trees, for design, for meters. And hopefully at the next meeting, we can bring it up to you. Art had some great suggestions on the monuments, how we can bring it up to speed. So for instance, south of Knox is not even identifiable as part of Greenfield Lakes. So we have a lot on our plate, but we're going to get it done. Unfortunately, we have tried to work with the golf course over and over again, and we just have to figure something out to get this water situation resolved because they're not giving us enough water. Art?
Also, beyond that, before we get the actual proposal from the contractor, in general, what we want to do is the gateway, what you might call gateway areas, which will be the intersections with the major streets like Knox and Greenfield, Knox and
Parkcrest.
Parkcrest. Yeah, that's where I live. Anyway, and it would be along the major street mostly, but then curving around probably to the first intersecting street in order to improve the approach and appearance of each one of the major intersections we have, so that anyone coming and going from the community will be able to have a better first impression as they come in. Then once we get that done, I believe that, and correct me if I'm wrong, Harmon or Ronnie, we will endeavor to touch up the interior of the subdivision before we go and completely renew the Greenfield and Warner street sides. Because if we get the gateways, most people are going to be looking straight to the signals and not really see what's parallel to the major high-speed roads.
You are correct.
I'd like to point out that during that meeting, the both of you emphasized during the planning season that we, in the fall we have coming up, we had to remove significant amount of trees over this last year, ones that were dead from time, ones we lost in the storm in the last couple of months. Those will be replaced, and plants that we have lost over the years. There's an emphasis to replace those also, as that's what you wanted to do, correct?
Correct. And also the plants that we have, for instance, we have 2 oleanders. We're gonna bunch them up with 3 more or 5 more, so you have a nice look in the long run. And I apologize to the homeowners for the landscaping taking so long, but you have to understand we had to have the budget. We didn't have the money to do it. We finally got to a point that we can spend the money and maybe try to work with the golf course to give us more time and more space so we can do what we do best. We're not any other community. Unfortunately, we get our water from the same lake that the golf course gets it, and they got the right of way. So if they shut the pumps off, we get no water. So it's silly to spend $100,000, lose the trees, and then worry about that. So we're going to do this very logically. We're going to do this throughout the community, so there's no discrimination to one side versus another. We do it in a group, and I assure you, you will all be satisfied.
Another point is that the trees that we're talking about, these are trees that were already budgeted for this fiscal year. We just did not get them installed in the spring. So we've got the budget for that. They may be different trees than what we originally thought we were going to replace, but there's not going to be a lot of additional cost for those trees, I believe.
Correct.
So the next step is we're awaiting a plan and quotation from the landscape company, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Just wanted everybody to have an idea. So to show that we're making some progress, and we'll have some good detail coming up before that actually, for people to see before we do any planting.
I think the foundation is the meters that are Wi-Fi connected, so we can see from the office how everything is being distributed. That's the first thing. The second thing is obviously the planting and making sure the lines are lined. And then the third of all, and the last, is the rocks. And some of the places like on Knox, they're 40-degree angle that we have to figure out a way for the rocks not to keep rolling over into the grass area. And we will get all of that done. That's no problem. We're working on it.
Good. Any other update or discussion from the board on landscaping? Okay. the Parkcrest wall bid. So this Parkcrest wall is on the Parkcrest on the north side of Warner, the gated area. There's a significant amount of view fence that fell more than a couple of months ago from the foundation or the pony wall that had crumbled. And the rest of that pony wall, about 300 plus feet of it, has also been undermined by erosion and water. And some of the fence panels are not good and rusting, and some are okay. We did get quotes a few months ago to do this, but we wanted to get more quotes because we thought we could save some money. And we had another contractor come out and feel that they could do some repairing and put it together. Then they brought their masonry guy out, and I met with them a couple weeks ago, and they really pointed out that there is significant erosion and cracking in most of that part of that wall, because part of it is like a 2-foot high retention wall also. Unfortunately, a lot of it is caused by the overwatering of the golf course in that area. And then, the rusting and the cracking the foundation of the wall. So we did receive those 2 quotes. We have been waiting for a third quote from Via Construction that we just met with the last few weeks. And then the person that repaired the fence about 5 years ago has been on an extended vacation in August. That's John, Ron, that you told me to contact.
Yes.
And he's not back in town until the end of August, which is literally in a few days. And he's scheduled to come the end of next week to look at it and give us a quotation if you want that also. So right now we still have the 2 quotes and we're waiting for 2 more. So it's up to you if you want to take one of the 2 quotes we have now, or you want to wait for 2 more and maybe make the decision before the next meeting. But the homeowners have been pretty good about waiting, and we need to get it done. So I suggest we review these 2 quotes, and then the board can discuss whether you want to wait for the other 2. So this one's from Sun King. And this one and the other quote prompted us to go look for quotes that were not complete replace and repair, or R&R, remove and repair, because we thought maybe some of it we could save. And that's why I said on further examination, really the whole thing needs to be done if it needs to be done right. So this is 333 feet of the 2-foot high, pony wall and the view fencing. If you go to the next page, please. The total of this quote's $27,480, and that's from Sun King. So the next quote is from Titan. This is the company that's doing the wall on Quinn, and same quote, but significantly more money. Go to the next page, please, or where the total is. He's 55,000. I don't really have an idea of what the other 2 will come in at, so I really can't tell you an expectation of lower or higher on Via Construction or on John. Do you have any ideas what direction you'd like to go, board?
I suggest, with our experience in calling for quotes, that there is this type of a broad swing between different providers. And the more providers we see, I think the better off for the selection for the community. So I think we should wait, maybe encourage them to get it to us by our next meeting, so that we'll be able to make a decision then.
We did put temporary safety fence up in the section that is all down, and that section was stacked up. And we did not have any more fall down in the storms. There's a homeowner at the very end, or the north end of Parkcrest, that had a few sections fall. And I've talked with that homeowner, and they would like to go, quote, in on the fence when we do our repair. They'll pay their pro rata share of just go in on top of our contract and fix theirs at the same time. And that makes sense for that homeowner to save a little money by going on our repair also. So if that's what you like to do, board, what do you think, everybody else?
I'd like to get some more quotes to compare this with.
Yes, I agree with Art and Kevin. Let's get a
All right.
couple more bids.
So John is supposed to be the end of next week, and Via had everything ready for us tonight, except he didn't have the metal quote, the what the metal panels were going to cost, but he knew the construction of everything else, so that's why we don't have that one. So I have no doubt we'll have full quotes in the next 2 to 3 weeks that you can look at and then make a decision at the next meeting. Okay, let's go back to the agenda.
Hey, just a thought. Maybe we could hire a legal firm, pay them 20 grand to get the golf course to pay for half of it.
That's inappropriate at the time, please. If you want to contribute, you can wait till the homeowners forum. I want to also bring up, we had a partial view fence on the basketball park. That's the one south of Knox that happened in a storm, and we're working with that homeowner on their insurance because it is a party wall and it did happen in the storm. So their insurance, our insurance has a deductible that's higher than the fence part, but it's a small part. We're working with that homeowner. And then if you've noticed on the south part of Greenfield, there was a DUI last Sunday morning at about 1 a.m. DUI crashed into that wall. So that's another insurance matter with that homeowner that we're working with. So just wanted to bring that up, both up as updates. Mosquitos were brought up by several homeowners in some emails that we received from standing water. We've had more rain in the last, month or two than we've had in a long, long time, and it just didn't percolate in the ground fast enough. Haven't seen any standing water in the last few days, but it hasn't rained in a week either. So a lot of it comes from the golf course. We had a few areas that we had to address from the standing water, a little bit on Knox. Didn't percolate in very fast. But it was asked to bring this up at the meeting. The board wanted to do anything about mosquito abatement because the city does no longer do any mosquito abatement.
Hey, Ron, have we had this issue in the past?
We did. I think when Art joined the board, what was the last landscaping company's name? They added some drainage throughout, and it helped quite a bit. But Brian Pest Control used to spray for mosquitoes every time we had crazy rain. But now our water standing is, 3-4 days maximum. Before it was standing for weeks, if I'm not wrong.
Well, we have quite a few homeowners on the meeting. Homeowners, would anybody like to make a comment on what you feel the mosquito population's been like in your experience lately?
Yes, this is DJ. You hear me?
Yes.
On Quinn, south of Warner, there's 2 drainage basins that hasn't been cleaned in years. I think originally I thought it was HOA, but HOA says it no belongs to the golf course.
Correct.
I actually took pictures of the east side and west side there on Quinn of those drainage basins that have not been cleaned in probably years. I took them to the golf course. As I walked into the office there at the golf course, I actually called out and said, is the owner of the vehicle that's illegally parked out front in the no parking fire zone here? Nobody actually answered. And then I asked, can I see the manager or something? I took the pictures in with him and I told him about the mosquitoes and the uncleaned basins there and showed him the pictures. He got really upset and irate, and I think mostly because I said, who's illegally parked out there, which it was him.
Uh,
And he never did move his car. Anyway, he actually, before I left, he said, "What? Come into my office here and we'll discuss it." We discussed it a little bit. He actually threw the photos at me, kind of upset, irate, but he did say, "I'll look into it and take care of it." That's been probably at least 6 weeks ago, and it's just gotten worse. Nothing's been
Okay.
cleaned at all. And to top it off, make it worse, there's people on Brooks that overwater their lawns. That drainage comes down to the drainage basins and backs up and just lays in the gutter on Quinn because there's no clean drainage basins. It's all full of dirt and grass. And I also reported it to the town of Gilbert. They finally got back to me and said they went and put some, I forget the actual term they used, but mosquito something to kill the mosquitoes on it.
A
I
dump.
actually replied to Gilbert and said, that's probably extremely short-term fix. The real fix is cleaning those basins so there's no grass and debris and standing water. So it's still, both sides up there, it's still a mess.
Okay, so I'm gonna chime in here because this is Scott. I'm the person you spoke to, and you're completely lying about the situation that transpired at the golf course. A, B, you guys from the HOA have overwatered every basin out there. There's inches, if not feet, of water that have been there that I've talked to Tyler about several times. No text back, no phone call back, no nothing. Finally see him out there, go talk to me. He says, well, I was on vacation. So apparently he can't take care of anything on vacation, but he can let all these floods happen. And he says he won't ever turn off the clocks during rain season because there's 40 clocks and he doesn't have the time to get over there and turn them off. So you guys are watering while it's pouring inches of rain and over watering every part, everywhere there is around the development. So there's your biggest mosquito problem right away. And then the same thing on the fences. If you want to take the north fence on the between 1 and 9 over there, the guy all the way at the end of the north, talk about overwatering. His water is coming in the golf course for the last 3 weeks. He has a broken pipe over there. I went over there and knocked on his house. He didn't answer. And that thing's been 3 weeks. We've been having water down onto the golf course from him. We get people draining the pools into the golf course, which doesn't help all this whole mosquito issue either, by the way. So, I mean, if you guys can't stop the own HOA maintenance people from overwatering and overdoing everything, you're going to have a consistent problem no matter what your drainage basin situation is on the one. And the only reason the city wouldn't send a letter to me and say, hey, you have a mosquito issue there because there's standing water is if there's no standing water. So they use the pellets that they'll put down to stop some of the mosquito abatement. But the mosquitoes are everywhere right now. I mean, it's just that with all the rain we've got, you're not going to stop them. It's an impossible dream.
So what you're saying is you're willing to work with the board to resolve the issues between the golf course and the community?
I would love to. We have a meeting
Good,
set
let's
up with the HOA, the property management company, and Tyler and the maintenance group to resolve these issues.
In about 2.5, 3 weeks, Scott. Correct?
Yes, correct. Yes.
At your office, yes, we do.
Which I'm also a homeowner, by the way. So that's why I'm on the call, not just from golf course side of things.
That's great.
But yeah, no, I'd love to get this resolved with somebody that wants to get it resolved for sure. I mean, I do not want to be, called out in our course and office on things that are not our problems and over this line without being somewhat involved in trying to get it resolved, which we have with every maintenance company that's come out, try to go through the issues. And of course there is longer weed issues along some of the walls because we're just finally getting caught up from all the rains and being able to mow the grass and get everything down as we go. So we're closing in the gap on trying to get all that resolved.
Okay, board, anything else on mosquito? Okay, we have some park repairs. Can we go to that page, please?
Harmon, was that in this board report?
No,
No, it wasn't actually. I'm sorry. Go back to the agenda. I apologize. We have a couple park repairs. The company that inspects our tot lots, there's a few rusting components. There was a little steering wheel. There was a mat. I've already asked them to give us the costs on these. It's been, frankly, they said they're getting a hard time from their supplier to even get a cost or an availability on these parts. And also they're supposed to give us a quote on replacing 2 of the park benches with ADA, the ADA equivalent park bench, because those are rusting also. So we were supposed to have these at this meeting. I'm sorry for them. I try to get as much as I can out of them, that we do not have that, but it is on the active list of getting that done. And obviously a little hot for the kids to go out and play, but we got to get these things fixed before the season is, when after the summer cools down and the kids are out there playing, they need to be repaired. So more ongoing with park repairs. I guess I'll just leave it at that. We have on the agenda is Homeowners Forum. This is where homeowner, if we did give you the ability to unmute yourself, if you can do that in a respectable manner, you may ask a question or suggest a agenda item for the next meeting and see what we can do for you. Any homeowner would like to make a comment or suggest something?
Yes, this is DJ again. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Just get a follow-up on the reported dead, like 50-foot pine tree. You had said you were gonna follow up and look into it, but I'd like to know the status.
I don't know the status personally right now, but if you wouldn't mind sending me an email or giving me a call at the office tomorrow, I'll personally look into it and tell you right then.
Okay, you sent me 2 emails, said you would follow up and look into it, and that was mid-June. So you want me to resend the pictures and the emails again?
I don't know. I don't know your name, sir. So that's why I was asking if you want to call me, but because I don't know who
Don
to
Jordan.
answer back to.
Donald Jordan, mostly known as DJ.
Donald Jordan.
Jordan, Jordan.
All right, then I will get back to you, sir.
Can you tell me why you haven't gotten back to me since June?
I don't know the status of the tree, so I can't tell you.
Okay, you
usually
originally
pretty
got
good at
back
getting
to me
to
and
people.
said it is not, if it's not on HOA property, it's not an issue. And I read the CC&Rs and sent you a picture of the CC&Rs and typed it out. And I said, I differ with you because I think if a homeowner has a dead tree on their property and that dead tree, if it comes down, is going to take down the privacy wall with it. And since June, I haven't heard anything back, and the tree is still up there. It's still dead. It's still leaning, and I'm concerned.
Okay, I apologize, and I will get back to you tomorrow. I look in the records and see what communications we've had with that homeowner. I do recall the issue.
Thank you.
You're welcome, sir.
Hello, my name is Ron Scott, 2515 East Saratoga Street. Thank you so much for the opportunity to be able to sit in on the meeting and bring up my concern. So for a while now, I've filed 2 appeals on my camper trailer that I moved pretty timely during COVID at the request and at a fine that was assessed against me in my statement. And I sent that to the previous homeowners association. This is how far back it goes. I'm not complaining. I'm asking for grace. it was a crazy time of COVID. I lead an organization, and I was trying to get it out of there as soon as I could have. It is barely visible. We live at the end of a cul-de-sac. And so I filed it like they asked. I think I spoke to a kind board member, and I was just following protocol, doing the best I could. And I never heard back on the appeal. And so then nothing ever happened with that homeowner association, with that management group. And then with the new management group, I also went to the office and gave that to them, and during COVID even, and trying to get the appeal to be heard. I feel like it was not heard, and gratefully they said you can talk during the forum time of this meeting. So that's what the management association asked me to do. That's why I'm here. And what I would like is if I could please receive a little bit of grace. I'm really gracious when maybe the weeds and landscaping, or I don't care about the mosquitoes. And this is an assessment that was against me, and then several late fees. But I've been communicating. I moved it on time. I was working with you guys, trying my best, and I'm just asking for someone take a look at that I wrote. I've spent a lot of time with that appeal because I feel like I was trying, and if I could receive some grace and not have to pay that fine, and then the late fees not be charged, is that possible, please?
It is, and those are taken up in an executive session, which there is one immediately following this meeting. And in
Okay.
fact, if you would like to stay on this Zoom call when we dismiss everybody else, and you can personally talk to the board about that and see what we can do for you.
Many thanks. Thank you so much. I will.
Okay, so stay on the call, sir.
Yes, sir.
Anything else? Okay, board, we entertain a motion to adjourn.
Wait,
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut anybody off.
no problem. I just wanted to bring up, apologies if I was inappropriate in my timing, but I just want to remind the board that you have a fiduciary duty to all the members of this homeowner association. I remember we voted on having an official legal firm, so I don't know if there's some kind of personal relationship that convinced you guys to go out and waste legal fees in order to fight something that we had no ability to recoup our money. It just makes absolutely no sense to me. It's the most dysfunctional thing I've seen in quite a long time. It's disappointing to see. There's so many things that needs to get done with this neighborhood that we've got the funds and we're instead wasting our time and money on legal fees that should have never happened. That's all I got.
Hey, board, would you like to make a motion to adjourn?
Yes.
And do we have a
Yes.
second? All right, do we have a second?
Aye.
Any further discussion on the motion from the board? Any homeowner discussion on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion carries. Adjourn the meeting at 6:44 p.m. Thank you, everybody, for joining, all homeowners. We appreciate the participation. And we'll see you. If we can help you at all, please give us a call or email at the office, and we'll have a meeting next month at the same appropriate time. Have a good evening.